Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to see all of you because I had some concerns that it is Friday already, that everyone is tired, and there is always some alternative because the forum is so intense. There are so many things to listen to at the forum. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizer for this super wow event, especially in times of war. This is just incredible to have this type of an event, and it's really something which lifts our spirit. Okay, so do I have a clicker for my presentation? Okay, because there is also some text below the slides for me not to forget anything. This is a very challenging topic when we talk about preservation of the spirit of the place. It is very subtle, it is non-material, and it is links directly with the place. I will try to open up and tell you more about this idea using an example of one object, and we were really honored to work on this project together with the City Council because they commissioned this project together with the Urban History Center, but Sophia mentioned that was the reconstruction of Koliyivshchina Square in Lviv. It was implemented within a free heritage framework, and it was implemented together with the Department of the Preservation of Historical Environment, and this is the best commissioner ever in Lviv. If you happen to work with the Lviv municipality, I mean in terms of cooperation, urban history center, urban space, also Uman municipality, and it was funded by the European Union. It was a very serious project as well as its organization, and it was really important for the city, and it was a great honor for us to be part of it. And Lviv, in the past few years, well, if to speak about Lviv, then we had quite a few projects implemented, and this is a special project because it is, in terms of scale, this is the smallest scale. If you talk about the historical part of the city, it is a Jewish quarter, and actually it is linked to the fortification which used to be there. And if you compare it to other squares, it is a very small square, it is a small public space, it has its own ambience, it has a certain spirit which we tried not to lose, not to change beyond recognition. It was important for us to make sure that it can still be read and understood. You know that if we talk about any reconstruction, it is very material in its essence. It is about construction, it is about different tenders which networks require, but also we worked with non-material issues in this project. This is the issue of memory, authenticity, the spirit of this place, and authenticity which we had to deal with. That was how the square looked like. It was very Soviet style, I would say. And there were many things not in good condition, not really aesthetically pleasing. It was not attractive because this is the central part of the city and it didn't have any recreational purpose. And speaking of memory, it's important to talk about archaeology. It was very detailed and there was very interesting material recovered after these works. So we identified very precise well since the Austro-Hungarian period, and also we learned more about some other places, and also we received a lot of very material information. These were some steps, and it was important for us to find not only the geometry of the wall and to make sure these elements are not buried deep inside, but that they can be used in this project. And you can see them even now around this wall, so you can touch these stones, and they have hundreds of years of history. Here you can see them in this picture, how everything was cleaned in this area. This is another photograph. Here you can see the same stones from the old stone house. We received a lot of information, but probably I will not go deeper. We also worked with some cartography materials, so we knew that initially there were some objects and there were two plan plots. One of them was called a void because it was empty, and there was another where we had some buildings at some point of time, and I think that after some period of time, just because it was old, probably all of that was dismantled, and we learned it from different sources. We also used different mapping materials just to make sure that we understand a clear picture. Here you can also see this wall. So from the maps we could see that the wall indeed was there, and also we had some other proof, some descriptions, and of course it was not possible for us to cover everything with archaeological works, and it was very important for us to make sure that we identify, detect this wall, because if engineers work in a different place, then, well, we know that that's not really good, because you cannot really do the same thing in 5, 6 other places, but we were lucky to find the wall. Also, when we work with memory, and especially when we talk about material memory, then the question is about the translation of this memory, because we catch some information about some events, some memories, and then it's very important to understand how we communicate it further. Whenever we have a public space, this is not that we do something for us. It's very important for the future generations primarily. It's very important that they know how to read all of that and what is the story that we can offer to them. Here you can see different ways of using paving stones, and also we have another fortification. Different stones were used, and we also have, yes, we can see the information. And there is another thing that I would like to mention. Actually, what else is being covered by the authenticity of the place? It is not only about memory, it is not only about history. We also have authenticity, which is achieved through the use of materials. When we analyze the square, we try to understand what else could be used, what else could be reused, not just thrown away. That is why the most paving stone, that was something that we really decided to use, to leave it there. These are reusable stones. Also, speaking of the spirit of the place, we always try to think how to combine, how to marry the old elements with the new elements, because it's impossible to have everything as it was initially. There will always be something new popping up. And of course, that this is a new lamppost, but that is an attempt to make sure that it resembles the one which was there, which would have been there in the historically. Also, you can see the wall. We reproduced it in the same form, in the same place. This is a dialogue, so we have two new elements, and they have some sort of an interaction being there in this old historical part. Another important achievement is the memory about people. This is not the memory only about walls, about buildings, about historical matters, because it's about people, and people created all of that. The spirit of people stays there ad infinitum. And how do we commemorate the people? How do we uh, bring this message forward? So that was the suggestion of the City History Center, that we will use the web and we will place this information. If you go to this location, you will see the names of people as well as their professions. I'm talking about the people who lived in this district, to feel the presence of the people, to have some communication with the people who used to live in this neighborhood. Speaking of the spirit of the place, it's not only about people who live there. This is just last but one slide. We always have people who live there right now, and they continue contributing to the creation of the spirit of this place. We had a great participation working with Jewish cultural communities, and also we had great participation from different representatives of the city. Well, you can see it in the pictures. Well, people as personalities, as individuals, they can be formally engaged on the one hand, but on the other hand, they always contribute with something on their behalf. It could be one sentence, one idea, it could be one proposal, but there is always some trace they leave behind in this process. The very last thing is the very perception of the place by people, and this square lives its own life. You can see it in different websites. I think it was shortlisted. There was also an award achieved from the Union of Architects of Ukraine, and it's really popular in social media. It has its own Instagram live. And what we imagined in the beginning, what we managed to achieve through designing and through the implementation of the project, it helped us to see something different than we predicted, something complementary, additional, and it really lives its own life. It's separate from all of its creators. It has its own autonomous. It communicates autonomous senses or impressions, and I think that some of you can actually read the history of this place and the memory of this place. But there are so many layers emerging as part of the life of the square. Also, we have a video, but I would like to ask someone to turn it on. Yes, we will have this video played in our imagination because it's important for us to keep going. It is a short video clip. Yes, but thank you, Ola.